We begin this show by doing a check-in with ourselves. Find yourself a comfortable spot where you can sit undisturbed for the next 5 to 7 minutes so that you are able to do this with us. Your feet grounded on the floor. If you're sitting, or you're able to actually just put your feet on the floor, preferably with your shoes off, so that you just have the max amount of presence with you. Take a nice deep in-breath and out. Another deep in-breath and out. As you take the next breath, give yourself permission to relax. Let yourself relax, relax, focusing on your breath. Taking another deep in-breath and out. If there's any part of you that's feeling a little bit tense, anything like that, when you take the breath, you breathe into that space, whether it's your back, your sitting thing, your legs, whatever part of you feels a little bit tense and needs special attention. Take a deep breath into that place, all the time giving yourself permission to relax, 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 allowing yourself to go into a normal rhythm of breathing. A normal rhythm of breathing, giving yourself permission to relax. I invite you to place a hand over your heart, in the middle of your chest, continuing to give yourself that permission to relax. If your immediate environment is too stimulating, you're welcome to close your eyes. This is a moment for you. Bringing your attention to your heart and to your breath. Now, slowly breathing a little bit deeper with each breath. Feeling your breath in your stomach. Making your breath a little bit more relaxed, a little bit deeper. Getting into that rhythm that you would normally have when you're maybe lying down and reading, or just relaxing, a relaxed kind of rhythm of breath. Now, when we are in a relaxed mode, we are able to bring to mind thoughts that we choose and then inhabit those thoughts. I invite you to bring to mind a thought of community coherence, a time maybe of celebration, maybe a time that you felt very connected to the people around you, where you were able to actually connect with even strangers with ease. Perhaps the World Cup, where we all stood together with one voice behind our nations. Bring to mind this thought as you feel the warmth of your hand over your chest, and be able to feel your own heartbeat and relax into your breath. In your mind, you are holding a thought of a sense of community, a sense of oneness, of coherence, and allowing yourself to feel what it felt like to be with those people, to be in that crowd of people, all with one voice, hoping for the very best in your neighborhood, in your town, in your province, in the world. We are taking this moment to connect with all of humanity. First, with our own sense of community within ourselves. Allowing yourself to feel the feelings that accompany that moment, that thought that you have chosen. If the thought that you have chosen does not bring about feelings of coherence, of community, of togetherness, you're welcome to change it. Pick a thought that fills you with fear, that makes you feel like you're part of a humanity that is coherent, that is hopeful, that is one in some way. Allowing this feeling to grow in our hearts, warming your heart. remembering what it smelled like, what it looked like, maybe even what you were wearing, and breathing into it. Maybe this moment brings a smile to your face. And while we have this thought powering our feelings, silently or out loud, say these words with me. I choose to connect with humanity today. I send waves of love through the atmosphere. I contribute positive changes to the world. I see the beauty in people and in my environment. I do my part to heal the world today. I send my earth home, nurturing love and healing today. I set the intention to share the best of myself with the world today. Take a nice deep in-breath. And as you do, raise your arms right out. As you bring them back in an exhale, wrap them around yourself. Give yourself a nice squeezy hug and smile at yourself. Thank yourself for taking this moment to contribute such good vibes to our environment and our world. Right. I mentioned a little bit in the beginning that we are going to be talking about advice, criticism, and other nefarious things we do in the name of helping others. Now, I know that when I say that, I have kind of socialized this subject around people that are around me on a day-to-day basis and found them to be saying, but you know, it is helpful. I'm not disputing that. But oftentimes, these are destructive and self-serving, and oftentimes they strip the very people that we mean to be helping of their personal power. We had a guest a few weeks ago who said, how can you empower a power? And the real truth is that you are the prophet of your own life, and that the answers that you seek are within you. You are the one who's going through the situation. When you find yourself in a situation, usually all the information that you need to solve that puzzle or to navigate that trouble is within you already. You have at your disposal the clues of how to conquer this situation. One of my favorite examples is when you look up in the ring of life and right across you, hey man, there is Mike Tyson. He's suited, he's got his gloves on and he's ready. Guess what? The fact that he's in the same ring with you means that you are equal to him, that you can take him, that in fact you can take him down. When situations arrive in our lives, they don't arrive in a vacuum. You find that a lot of times there's been intuitions and things that have come up that have kind of in a way prepared us for such situation. In a way, helped us to get to a point where we have the mental and physical and internal resources to deal with that situation. And sometimes what we need is really someone to hold up a mirror in front of us and allow us this space to work it out, to actually arrive at the natural solutions that we will be able to execute. And the important thing that we actually often miss when we do give advice or offer criticism, no matter how constructive we think it is that we actually don't take cognizance of the fact that even in our own situations, no matter how good we are at articulating our problems and articulating what's currently real and true and happening, a lot of times when a person comes and tells you about their issues, they don't say, it smells like this, it feels like this, it looks like this, it tastes like this, and this is what it makes me feel. And these are the previous experiences I've had about this that have made me arrive at such. Never. It does not happen like that. A person tells you, and abbreviated version of what their perceived problem is. But within them is the information that was taken from everything that is true and real in that situation, including things they cannot articulate with words. No matter how good we are at words, there are feelings, emotions, senses, energies, vibes, and just nuances that we cannot impart to another person. And even if we could, we are always, as human beings, more likely to implement more vigorously a solution that we came up with than a solution that somebody else offered to us on a silver platter. Because oftentimes that solution is not rooted in our reality. So for a solution to be rooted in the person's reality, it literally has to come from that person. You know, think about a time when you've seen someone who's in maybe an abusive relationship. You know, you can tell them all you want, yeah, that person sounds like a narcissist. You know what to do with a narcissist, and then you tell them all the wonderful things that you know. The truth of the matter is that it does not break whatever emotional, physical, financial, or whatever their perceived barrier to implementing your advice is. So is it not better to hold space for them and allow them to arrive at a solution that they are practically able to apply on every level of themselves? You know, we walk around and look at people that know very well, if I want to lose 10 kilograms, these are the top 3 things that I would need to do. And yet, I'm not doing them. I'm not losing 10 kgs because I'm not doing them. So you come to me and give me advice about how to achieve that goal. The truth of the matter is that I'm probably just not going to do it because I already know within myself what I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm not doing it. I'm already not doing the good advice that I am able to give to myself. What makes you think that the good advice that you give me is going to be better? And oftentimes, advice is a way of nostalgically walking down memory lane in our own lives, a way of perhaps making up for all the bad examples that we can no longer give as we age by giving good advice. So, you know, I see a 22-year-old about to make a mistake that I so happily made when I was 22, but now I'm going to give them these tall, hairy, audacious ideas and advices and criticisms and stuff. Meanwhile, really, it's not going to be true and real to them because they haven't lived that. They haven't lived the truth of actually learning those lessons themselves. And of course, a very dangerous thing of offering advice is you somehow put yourself on a pedestal. You know, often you are basically saying to the other person, I know this one, this is what you can do, da 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 da. And in that moment, you're stripping them of the power of their own sense-making and solution-providing faculties, their own ability to actually solve their own problems. Criticism, on the other hand, is pretty much the same. You know, it's the expression of disapproval of someone or something on the basis of perceived faults or mistakes. Interestingly, when people offer criticism to others, when a person comes up and criticizes you for something, I want you to think for a moment, what was the last thing that you did when someone criticized you? I bet you it wasn't say, that is wonderful constructive criticism and go ahead and implement it. No, you justified yourself. You came up with your top 10 reasons why you are doing this and it's the right thing to do. Because their criticism is based again on their own experience. A lot of times, criticism is us expressing how we feel about things within ourselves, not necessarily what it is that we are observing in another person. You know, I remember that as an 8-year-old, I got hurt and I chipped a tooth. And I tell you, ever since then, anytime I saw someone who laughs and covers their mouth, or who had chipped teeth, or, you know, spoke, covered themselves when they spoke, or looked down when they spoke, and things like that, I was so keenly aware of those behaviors because it was something that I was also concerned about within myself. So I could walk around and offer constructive criticism about such things to other people, or I could recognize that my ability to see that in others is because it is present within me. You know, one wouldn't dream of walking up to someone and saying, you really should consider losing weight or dressing better, or all these constructive criticisms we offer people about their behaviors and their beliefs and their thinking. But we do that so often. A lot of times, even social media, even this here platform is so full of people that are coming against what other people believe because I believe better or I believe differently, and it translates to, I'm going to tell you where you are wrong. How much better would the world be if we weren't all trying to catch each other being wrong? The funny thing is that most of the time both advice and criticism are discarded as quickly as they were dispensed. So they probably don't really help as much as you actually think they're helping, except maybe when they are manipulations by someone who's telling these things to someone who's malleable and impressionable and at an age where they think everybody else knows better than me. But most people who are aware of themselves, who are self-aware, who are knowing of themselves, respond to advice by doing exactly what they were going to do anyway. And in fact, in the moment of offering advice, a lot of times all we achieve is to say to the other person who was maybe telling us a story of what's going on in their lives right now, we are basically saying, shush, I'm going to tell you something better. It's almost the same as if you were that friend that always has a better story about everything that someone tells you. You know, if we're sitting having a nice pizza, you ate the best pizza in such and so place in 19 whenever. It's that kind of thing, you know.